Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook. Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.
At Jackalope Stash, the best dressed in the room. Do you have an upcoming wedding, dance, or date night? Get fitted for a dapper tuxedo or fashionable suit. Quality, style, stash. Jackalope Stash. Visit us online, or better yet, come see us in downtown St. Mary's, where riders shop.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach.
If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343. Wondering what it would cost to have a generator for your home or business? Contact Sean Barnett Electrical for a complimentary estimate for installation and yearly maintenance.
Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful. Wow! I'm in Sean's corner, and Sean will be in yours for all your electrical needs.
Screen printing, digitizing, and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Roughrider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Roughriders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
To you,
St. Mary's.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Rider Nation Station bowling version. Typically, you're watching us in the wintertime do basketball, boys and girls, and wrestling. And we like to throw in at least one bowling match per season. And this year, we're actually going to do 3. We're going to do tonight's boys bowling versus Van Wert. And then later at the end of the month, we're going to do girls bowling. And then we always like to cover the wall pack match if it's here at Varsity Lanes or if it's over at Astro Lanes. And this year it happens to be at Astro Lanes. And we'll cover the boys and the girls at the same time. My name's Doug Spencer. Alongside me, Logan Yelton. And we're glad to be bringing to you Roughrider Boys Bowling tonight. Log, exciting times, WBL play, a Monday night match, and time to get things rolling here real quick.
absolutely, Doug. It's extremely fun for me to be doing the bowling. Obviously, lived and breathed bowling for quite some time in my life, and to be able to come out here and watch these guys and come up here and do what I used to love to do as well.
All righty, and you're going to see the alternating lanes. There's St. Mary's first roll right there, and Aiden Tiemann starts things off the way you want your start-off guy to with that strike.
Absolutely, Aiden Tiemann. He's been one to watch all year long. His whole high school career, just starting out and really working at this game and getting himself better and ready for these matches.
Van Wert, did we get Van Wert's sheet?
You know what? We did not. They did not bring theirs, so I'll go get that here shortly.
So Van Wert's bowler trying to pick up that spare, just curves prior to that 7-pin. It's going to leave it open framed, and now we have Roughrider Caden Niergarter. Caden?
Looks like a good shot. Yep.
Boy, placed it right where it needed to be. The junior Caden Niergarter. He averages 180 and starts things off quite well for Coach Scott Ross's bowling team. There you see Van Wert. Got it right where it needed to be. Van Wert picks up their first strike with bowler number 3. Devin Stutler. Left-hander, and he gets the pins to slowly fall for his strike. St. Mary's sizzling right now in the first frame. 3 bowlers up, 3 strikes down. Van Wert's matching right now. Nice roll by the Van Wert bowler there. Again, we don't have their lineup yet. We'll try to find that and get some names.
And St. Mary's here, yeah, putting it on them early. 3 in a row. Jake Ackroyd stepping up here, trying to make it 4. It's always good to see X's on the board.
He releases, he finds it, and he's got some work to do with that second ball there. What went wrong there, Logue?
Yeah, it looks, it's early yet. He probably just missed it at the bottom a little bit there. Got a little anxious. Cameras are on him. They've all been talking about it. I talked with Coach Ross here. They were all really excited for us to be here, though. But if you see on lane 8, too, split, I always say never bowl next to a split. But
and here Jake goes. He's going to try to pick up that 2 to the left. So what was that, a 4-8 that he just picked up right there?
Yeah.
And here
4-8, and then
the Van Wert's bowler picks up 2 as well. So
picks up the 9-10 there.
St. Mary's came up empty on the quest for 4 strikes in a row, but Will Ross going to try to get him back with the strike category. Ooh,
missed that one. Yeah.
Boy, I thought that was hanging on that edge and was going to dump off, but he was able to pick up 6. And Van Wert with a nice roll there, getting a strike from there.
Yeah, that strike there for their anchor bowler pretty much makes it even here going through the first frame.
Will Ross has 4 to pick up here.
This is where he just buckles down. He knows what he did wrong.
Is there a strategy when you've got this assortment of pins?
Yes, hit it on the left side of the head pin.
Left side of the head pin. See if Will can do that. Releases. And he does exactly what Logan Yelton says to do. Nice pickup. Great spare by Will Ross. And we're seeing St. Mary's after their 5 rollers, 49. Van Wert, 48. And so now for those who are just tuning in and really haven't watched the sport very much, they flip lanes then after each
frame.
Each frame? Okay, so now you're seeing Van Wert.
Here on lane 7.
Lane
Van
7.
Wert. Looks like a pretty good ball. Yep, got it out of there. Aiden team in here.
Aiden's starting things off extremely well. He's bowled twice, and he has 2 strikes. Second bowler for Van Wert. Left-hander. Looking for that pocket, doesn't find it.
Just kind of pulled that one a little bit. Scott and I eat a lot of lunch together, and we talk about this pattern on the lane that these WBL matches are held on. It is. It's an invisible playing surface. I don't know what just happened, but Coach Ross is laughing really hard. But invisible playing surface, so we kind of know what's out there, but then to find it where you need to get the ball to is the toughest part. And talk about all these bowling balls. There's an array of bowling balls out there. Right now we see a couple guys throwing some urethane. It kind of helps blend the pattern, but when you have too much of it, it pushes it all down there. It makes it tougher for that ball to hook when it needs to. So you'll see a bunch of ball changes here by these guys later on, and a lot of moves. Start moving left. So
to a neophyte bowler like myself, I'm just going to say a ball is a ball. I go pick one up off the rack. That's here at the house, and just roll it down. But how Wow. I mean, do you equate to like different clubs in golf or?
That's a great analogy. Yes. So you've got ball with surface on it. Ball with surface on it is going to start hooking a little early, be a little more tumbly down at the end. Usually you're going to see that on the fresh, which is a fresh lane, just like it said, where the pattern hasn't had much bowling on it yet. Then it's going to start going to a shinier ball. So kind of like driver to begin with and wedge to end, and don't give the pocket away then towards the end of the day when things are really, really tough out there. When they are tough, that's when you see these teams win. They take it and see if I can get there.
Niergarter's able to pick up that spare there. So is there a limit of the amount of balls they're allowed to use in a contest?
In high school, I don't believe so. There are a few tournaments throughout the year that all the kids can travel to. There's one called Teen Masters. They get 2 balls, and that's it. And there's another one, I believe Junior Gold now has held. There's a 7-pin. Has given a ball maximum that you can only bring so many.
Devin Stetler left the 7-pin on lane 8. And he gets it, picks that spare up. Nice job by the junior, Devin Stetler. His average is a 185, a high game of 278, high series of 703. And I think now's a good time to talk about that, Logan, the series.
So tonight's a little bit different. With high school bowling, we're 2-game sets. They did write down their 3-game sets there, which is perfectly fine. So in normal play, you've got 3 games you're going to bowl, and all 3 of those scores get added up. There's your series. Sometimes they're big numbers, sometimes they're not so big numbers. But how the team comes together then as everybody's bowling, just missed that one. As everybody is coming together, those series are very important because the best bowler on the team may be struggling to where the other 3 or 4 come in and they do their job, and that's very important.
Ackroyd able to pick up 2. He's got 2 9s thrown so far.
Another split. They're split happy tonight.
And so the format for tonight for WBL plays, they're going to do 2 regular games and then 3 bakers. Is that correct?
It's actually 5 bakers.
5 bakers.
And when we get into the baker games, that's in my opinion, I wish we could bowl more baker games. Will Ross here up on 8. Just looks like he grabbed it a little bit at the bottom.
Now what
tugging it.
Strategy, if any, just get the most that you can, or can you pick up 5 in this situation?
So that's called, the Greek church. You can pick this up, and but definitely always go for count.
So he's going to hope he's going to go for the 3 to the right side, and
the 6, 9, 10. Yep.
That it kicks over,
and hoping the 6 goes across the lane.
See what happens here. Will Ross.
That's about as close as you can get to not getting it. So
we are at the end of 2, and you're going to have to help me out here. Have they changed? Is that St. Mary's' score? The 131?
131 St. Mary's, 123 Van Wert, yes. So our screens will keep them the same. St. Mary's will always be on the odd side.
Oh. Perfect. Starting frame 3, Van Wert.
Comes off with a strike there. See if he can keep this going.
And he does!
There's nothing wrong with some Brooklyn side.
All right, it's in that vernacular there. What are we talking about?
So right-hand bowlers, we want to hit it on the right side of the head pin. Left-handed bowlers, we want to hit it on the left side of the head pin. When we cross over, we say we're going to Brooklyn because it's the wrong side. So.
Gotcha. Roughrider Bowler number 2 in frame 3 is Caden Niergarter. Has an average of 180.
And Caden throws the ball really good. He's really soft at the bottom, which is really nice. One of the big things is don't give the pocket away, and I feel like he's working on that for the long term to not give that pocket away. So, and the pocket I'm talking about is the 1-3 pocket for him. He's a right-handed bowler.
Van Wert's bowler picks up that spare. He's marked every frame. Caden Niergarter got the, is that the
4 pin.
4 pin to pick up. Just misses, leaves that frame open. Good camera work by camera operator Hunter Winget. Thank you, Hunter, for being here. Told him he's going to make his money tonight with all of the activity that's going on in a bowling match, and we're appreciative of his services here tonight. Again, I'm Doug Spencer alongside Logan Yelton, bringing you Roughrider Bowling. We're only focusing on the boys bowling team for tonight's match. I think, is it the 30th?
Yeah, December 30th, we'll have Versailles girls.
Versailles girl here at Varsity Lanes, and then we will travel to Astro Lanes in Walpock and bring to you both Walpock and St. Mary's boys and girls from Astro Lanes. And we really got to give a huge shout out to TSC, who, at our request, will bump up the internet speed for us to be able to live stream this from Varsity Lanes, and we also need it done when we go to Astro Lanes in Walpock. So huge shout out to our friends at TSC for helping us out with tonight's live stream.
Absolutely, thank you so much, TSC. Just being able to give these athletes the opportunity to go back and, oh no, 7-10 split on 8.
Well, if he picks this up, he's really thankful for TSC to make this happen tonight.
Absolutely. We'll might make it the TSC 7-10 split of the night, right?
That's right. Don't have to worry about any pickups there for Jake Ackroyd as he strikes in the frame. So what's the thought process going through the Van Wert's mind right now of how to pick up this 7-10?
Pray. There is no good way to get this.
Here it is, and just came up empty. Oh,
it's very tough. I've never done it, so.
Will Ross, focused, concentration, release. Boy, that catches.
Oh, Messenger.
Gonna get it?
Oh.
No.
That was a good shot.
Boy, to my untrained eye, I'm like, that is going in the gutter. That's right, hanging right there on that edge.
And if you notice, that was a ball change, too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, he got rid of the urethane, it looks like right now. Probably went to the melee jab is my guess, but Scott and I eat a lot of lunch together. Yeah, the melee jab. So we talk a lot about that and options for what he's drilling up.
So head coach Scott Ross has the pleasure of getting to coach his son, and that's got to be a fun thrill for father-son to.
Absolutely, and I had Coach Ross fill out one of these bios for us tonight, and he's been coaching for bowling for 18 years.
Wow.
He loves it, lives and breathes bowling, and just got to say thank you to Scott Ross for all these years of coaching there. So,
and thank you to Will Ross picking that spare up with authority. And we're going to switch again. Looks like St. Mary's made some strides, widening their lead 214 to 193 as we head into frame number 4.
Right, and if we look here, we look at the top 2 bowlers. Van Wert, yeah, he had a miss, but the double going in, Aiden has a turkey. short first bowler, he's still striking. So 3 in a row for him, and looks like Coach Ross just pulled them all together here. I think just kind of told everybody take a deep breath.
So there are no timeouts in bowling, but in between frames, is there, and maybe it's a gentleman, because there's no official here, a gentleman agreement that you don't take an enormous amount of time before you start rolling again? Is there any way to be penalized for like a delay of game, so to speak?
No. The only thing it's like gentleman's agreement. You make sure you wouldn't want it done to you. We don't want to do it to them. But there is. You can take some time, get the team grouped back together, round it up, and even at that time, you're talking about like maybe Scott there was looking and saying, hey, I'm already seeing a change here. We all need to make a little move left right now.
So when you say you already seen a change, that the pattern of how the ball is rolling on this lane,
correct,
or the lanes, should from 7 to 8 be pretty true, or can there be a variation going from one to the other?
So that's what's so awesome about wood lanes, older houses. There's going to be some telepathy throughout the house. Local knowledge here, 8 hooks more than 7. And it just always has been that way. So at the beginning, you always play 8 a little more left than what you're playing 7, and from where you're standing and where you're throwing the ball over. So yeah, it should be the same, but mainly synthetic lanes, you get pretty close to seeing it all play across the board the same. So
we may need to send that messenger to Coach Ross, whose back is in our camera view.
Yeah, we definitely should go tell him something.
Nice pickup there by the Van Wert bowler.
Catch it.
I believe this is Stutler. Ooh. He's got 4 left to pick up.
And that one's definitely doable. And that's what I was saying. Bowl next to a split, and I don't know, it's just in your head. Always. Another Greek church there on lane 7, and got the 6, 7, 3, 6, 7, 9.
Stutler with his second. Ooh. Picks up 1, leaves 3.
And that's where the importance of, and they give it back to us, is that count. We're close right now, 255 to 260 for St. Mary's. So they're about a bowler ahead, half a bowler ahead right now, but still.
Jake Ackroyd looking to duplicate what he did in the third. And he
does.
Matches it. Nice job, Jake Ackroyd. Van Wert bowler. Thought he was going to get 9 down.
Yeah, I have a feeling
that 7 pin, that was pretty stingy. It wanted to stay upright.
And it did. Will Ross up here on lane 8. That looked really good. Oh, maybe too grabby.
Leaves 2 as well.
See if we can get this baby split. Yep.
Nice job by Van Wert. Good pickup for that spare.
For a little replay in there for a split pickup. We've seen a lot tonight.
Very nice. Not only is Logue commentating and carrying my water here, he's doing all the production. So Logue, a very talented RNS staffer.
Well, I was taught by the best, and I'm sitting next to him.
Good thing Uncle Rich is here.
Yes.
Will Ross picks that up. Look, and I'll probably forget your answer and ask later on, but you see some bowlers approach just one-armed, one-handed, and you see some approach where they've got both hands on it and it's kind of a sidewind release. What's the difference there, and why does a bowler choose one style over the other?
So rev rate is one. Rev rate and ball speed, they create a lot more ball speed and rev rate throwing it with two hands. Jason Belmonte, he really curved the game, no pun intended, curved the game when it came to the two-handed bowler explosion way back 2008, 2005, somewhere in there.
People probably had to say, what are you doing?
Right.
That's not how you do it.
Right. All the old schoolers, nobody liked it. I didn't even like it. I would probably fall flat on my face if I even tried it. I never have. But you see a lot more, and if you do turn on the PBA shows, you see so many left-handed two-handed bowlers on tour as well. A lot of it's rev rate. Slowly to the girl side, it's getting there as well. They're able to create so much more rev rate now that's really helping them score much differently than what they ever have. So, the traditional one-handed bowling is still alive and well, and I'll always root for it, especially when I do see somebody who's throwing it one-handed versus a two-hander. I'm definitely rooting for the one-hander.
Very nice. Thanks for the explanation. Aiden Tiemann finally broke stride, and he spared in the fifth frame. So he lost his strike streak, and here comes Niergarter. Niergarter leaves that 10-pin as well. And on Van Wert's side, their first bowler spared as well, as we were getting that explanation from Logan. Bowler number 2 for Van Wert. Big time strike. Again, we apologize. We don't have a list of names for Van Wert's bowlers, so we're just going to have to do it by numeric order. Approaching lane 7 for the pickup of the 10-pin, Caden Niergarter.
Oh, he knew it right away, too. Knew it right away.
Van Wert. It's going to leave 6-10.
Who we have here? Devin
Stutler. At an open frame in 4. See if he can redeem. And he's going to have... Boy, help me out here, Logan. Is that a 5?
That is the 2-4.
That's the 2-4 that he has. Van Wert going to pick up, and does.
Good deal.
Van Wert's had a pretty decent start of the season, I believe.
Yeah, they've only had 2 WBL matches.
Good pickup by Stutler for the spare.
But yeah, they are the 2 matches they've had, they have won by a landslide. So their team, they're nothing to look away from. They had a great showing at the Buckeye Kickoff Classic. Lost to Coldwater in the round of 4, and then Coldwater went on to win that tournament as well. That was just a few weekends ago.
All right, so you got the 7-10, which you said pray, and what Jake Ackroyd just found himself with.
The Big 4.
The Big 4. I love the terminology.
Yes,
great bowling vernacular. I love it.
And that's another one. It's get your count and get out of there. Obviously, frustration is going to set in a little bit. Never want to see black circles up there, but when you're splitting, you just got to take your time, make a small move, get your mind off of it, keep going. And that usually helps.
And it's a team sport. Hope that somebody like a Will Ross here is going to pick up and get things motivated for you as well. Couldn't get that 10 to fall, so he's going to have a spare opportunity with his next roll.
He'll grab his spare ball, and that's the other variable in here too. We've got balls that just go dead straight, and you throw it the same way, so you don't have to ever change anything.
So he'll just go straight on with this?
Correct, yep.
No curve?
Nope. But he can still do the same thing with his hand, so the ball's not going to move, or it shouldn't move. It may just a little bit, but...
Nice release, and just picks it up on the left side. I think he had a big sigh there. I thought that maybe he left that too far left, but he is able to pick it up. And after 5, we've got a 385 St. Mary's, 363 Van Wert.
And I did catch word, bowler number 1 for Van Wert. That's Christian Thatcher.
Christian Thatcher. He's got an average of 176. Aiden T-Man gets back on that strike kick. Frame number 5, he had a spare. He gets back to his 5th strike. In the 6th, he's equally matched by Christian Thatcher from Van Wert, a senior who, as I just mentioned, averaging a 176. Top bowlers in the league, what do you expect their average to be?
Anywhere around 200. It's not like league bowlers. They're not going to the same house every single night in bowling.
Yeah.
They're traveling, and they're bowling on a tough shot. They're not on this house shot that is a Christmas tree, and pretty much anybody can hook it on a Christmas tree and make pins fall. But these tougher shots, they really have to buckle down. So anywhere around 200 is a fantastic, above average.
Okay. And bowler number 2, Caden Niergarter and Van Wert both strike. As Stutler, he's got 4 pins up there for his second roll.
Yeah, it looks like 8's giving him some trouble.
Van Wert's bowler, that just didn't make that curve. That it stayed to the right, and as a result, he has 3 pins to the left. All right, Stutler, Devin hooks it in, gets the 3.
And once again, that's one of those. Just make sure you get that count. And Coach Ross, I don't even think he has to tell the guys that. There, yeah, he just missed it just at the bottom, a little flat off his hand, but he'll get there with it.
Jake Ackroyd,
yes,
with the strike.
That was almost called a J-bop for Jason Gibson.
Yeah. Jake's got to feel good about that after leaving the previous frame wide open with 7 on the board, and follows it up with a strike. So Logan, you are a golfer and you are a bowler. Both mental games. Is one more mental than the other?
Unfortunately, I'm going to say golf is. But bowling, if you do lose focus, because we are talking a game of inches here, you lose that one little bit of focus, taking your steps up to the line, the ball, you're not going to throw the ball the same. Golf, you have too much time in between as you're hitting shots. But,
yeah.
And same with bowling. You have a lot of time to think about it, but you're able to watch what everybody else is doing, watching the lane transition. So you should be at least watching what the lanes are doing in between each shot, especially here at Varsity Lanes.
Nice pick up there by Will Ross for his spare.
And what I was saying there, another strike there for Van Wert. That's Logan Sutton, I believe. Slowly getting these names in, guys. We do apologize about that.
So it looks like Van Wert may have taken a little bit of a lead in through 6.
So big thing is we've got to remember where strikes are at.
That's a good point.
Well.
Yep. And let's see, we've got one.
Aiden's got a shot at 279. Yep. We only had one open that frame. They had 2. So yeah, it's I mean, realistically, it's
pretty tight.
Pretty tight, yes. And I've never been a great bowling math guy till the end. I'll get it taken care of there.
Yep.
Here comes Aiden again.
Boy, that was kind of a weird one, how the right side finally fell, but he gets 8 down.
Himself with 3-6. And in high school bowling, it's keeping yourself having makeable spares is key, and that's when you see those averages of 180, 190 start coming to you, and you make those spares, and that's when the averages just become easier. Here comes Aiden on 7. Good. Keep it clean, Aiden.
No doubter there. Caden Niergarter getting ready for Coach Scott Ross's Rough Riders. With the release, leaves 4. Again, if you're wondering if we're going to be showing any of the girls' match, which is going on right now to our left, the answer is no. We're waiting until December 30th when the Lady Riders are going to bowl against the Versailles Tigers, and then we will have both teams when St. Mary's travels to Wapakoneta, and we will live stream that contest from Astro Lanes. And the only way that we're able to do this is with help from our friends at TSC, who at our request will bump up the internet speed for us to be able to get out of the broadcast out of the venue, and we really are appreciative of their efforts to help us bring to you live bowling and have this available for the kids to go back and watch. I'm sure they'll watch this a little bit after tonight's contest, but also what we like to say here at Rider Nation Station, we like to do this for today, but we really like to do it for 50 years from now. And so, these kids will have the availability to go back and watch and show their kids, grandkids, and that's what it's all about. So,
absolutely. If gosh, I wish I had something like this from my high school days, and talking with some of the past bowlers just this last week, they still go back and watch the matches that we've done throughout the years with that 2023 graduating class. They're all bowling still. Most are bowling in college, and they'll show their buddies in college, and they're like, "Holy cow, you guys had this!" And it's awesome to be able to hear those stories, and that they're spending a Saturday night out at their dorm or on a tournament, and they're watching Rider Nation Station, their old bowling. So it's pretty cool.
Nice pickup by Stutler there. And, that's an interesting point there, too. Collegiate bowling. Good vision, good foresight by the founding fathers here at St. Mary's to push to get St. Mary's Memorial High School with a bowling team. Because it's given kids not only the opportunity to participate in a sports, but also to have the opportunity to advance their educational opportunities and bowl collegiately. And there's been a decent number of St. Mary's Rough Riders who have bowled collegiately.
There have been, and I started to go through, and I just got too darn busy, and I wish I could have gotten everybody, but I got over 20 that have gone and bowled collegiately, and have done quite well bowling collegiately as well. And some coaching. There we go, Will Ross.
Now, what do you call that, where that one wants to dance around and finally drop?
You can call it.
Okay.
I think whatever word you would make up, it would work.
I'm just going to say, nice strike.
Nice strike. It's an X on the board.
Speaking of X's on the board, do you recall when you were bowling or watching thereafter, anybody bowling a 300 in a high school match?
So I don't think it ever happened during a match, unless darn, Kyle might be mad at me because maybe he did. But I can't remember if that was in a match or in practice. But no, I don't remember during a match that ever happened with us. It looks like, Jake Ackroyd, 299.
Can't get any closer.
No.
Wow.
And it is. It's the holy grail of bowling is getting that 300. It's what we all sought after as bowlers, and then the elusive 800 as well. 800 is realistically the hardest thing in bowling. Just 3 good games put together, everything's falling. You're making the couple of spares you're shooting at for 800. The 267 average, is that right? 267 average to shoot 800 on the nose. And,
good work, bowler. Has it turn on him just a little too quickly ahead of that head pin. He's got 3 to pick up. Looks like Niergarter's got the 10 pin to pick up here. Is this a spare ball?
Yes, it is. Straight, yep. Oh, that would have picked up the 7-10 split. Let's watch that again. If you watch the pin come flying out of the back, it would have definitely picked up the 7-10 split. Ball hits off of it.
Oh,
right
nice. Nice replay there.
Go back to the live action here.
Devin. And he's going to get 9 of them down out of that roll.
Not what he was looking for, but once again, he kept it close to the pocket. You get some shufflers going around there and take some extra out. He was on a spare there too, so that helps.
You know, Logan, you were just talking about the perfect game there. Did I ever tell you about the time I rolled a 301?
A 301?
Yep.
What happened?
I rolled a 300, and nobody beat me. I bowled a 301.
That adds up.
That's the only bowling joke I know.
It's a great bowling joke.
Your grandpa Spencer probably taught me that one right there. A 301. Jake Ackroyd gets 7 down. Looks like he's got what, does he have the 3-6-10?
3-6-10, that's correct. Van Wert's 4th bowler strikes there, doubles him up going into the 9th frame. These are always tough too. They're easy to chop and just get 2 out of the 3. These just take work on how you decide to shoot at them, and just like that.
That's the chop?
That's the chop. Great shot there by the senior Logan Sutton, yeah. Will Ross up here on lane 8. Big strike shot here. If he could double up here, that would be fantastic. He likes it. Not a ton, though.
Substitutions, can they only be done in between games?
No, they can be done during the game.
And so if I need subbed in frame 6, does that sub finish the game, or can I come back? I'm like, okay, I'm good.
When you're out, you're out.
Okay. For that
game.
For that game.
Yes. Then you can come back in that next game. Just chopped that one too. But yeah, but then that score will then count and the rules have changed 3 or 4 times. I am pretty sure that score then counts for that bowler who started the game.
it.
Yes. So right now, going into the 9th frame, both Van Wert and St. Mary's score showing at 637. Got some extra strikes out there for Van Wert, a little more than St. Mary's coming into the.
And we each had 2 opens in the 8th.
And this is the money frame here to get yourself set up for that 10th frame where you could possibly throw the ball 3 times, strike 3 more times, and you gain those extra pins depending on what you do here in the 9th frame. Very important frame of bowling.
Thatcher picks his spare up, and Tiemann looking to do the same. He's just got the 10 pin to contend with. Thatcher had an assortment. Good straight on ball. He picks it up. No problem. Aiden Tiemann.
The other big thing to talk about, too, is we think bowling, we think quiet, almost like golf. You've got to be quiet in here. It's not. It is very loud, especially once we get into these Bakers, and if this match stays close, like I hope it does, it's going to get really loud. The girls are over here to our left, and they do a little more cheering, have a little more cheers than what the guys do. But all in all,
a good thing to point out, as you see in your screen right there, this is a spectator sport, but it's a tough spectator sport. Bowling alleys weren't really constructed back in the day to have bleachers brought in and kind of a higher elevation to look down, and parents and grandparents make the most of it. I've been to quite a few matches where they bring in their own step ladders. They've got telescopic monopods with their iPads on them so that they can try to stream out as well. So it's a spectator sport, but it's the toughest spectator sport just because of how bowling alley's constructed.
Right. They definitely were not built to host or to see, unless we go out to the NBS in Reno, where it's a convention center with seating, and you're way high up. You can see, I think there's 100 and some lanes out there.
Wow.
You can see all the way across from way high up. It's a really cool venue, the National Bowling Stadium. But yeah, the local centers, they were not built for this. But I'm glad we can still do it. I mean, it's
a good crowd.
Yeah. There's quite a few people here, so.
And you know, what you would expect, you've got boys varsity and junior varsity. We really had not mentioned that they're down there rolling on 11 and 12. And then the same, let's see, for the girls, looks like maybe we just have varsity.
Varsity.
No junior varsity. Jake Ackroyd, open frame in the 8th and the 9th, the
2-8.
That's a 2-8 combo. So here on this 2-8, he just wants to hit that 2 straight on.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to do it. You throw straight at it and let the ball go all the way, drive through both of them at the same time. The other way is to really slow hook it in and hit the right side of the 2 pin, and then let the ball make sure it does hook still through the 8 pin, which is
Like
this is the way he's doing it right there.
Okay. Nice pickup by Jake Ackroyd. Van Wert's anchor had a strike, and now we're waiting on St. Mary's' anchor, Will Ross.
Coach Ross was talking to Will there right before he stepped up here. Did not like that at all. He just seems boxed in a little bit. I don't know if it's nerves. It shouldn't be. He just helped the Riders win in a sudden death 9th and 10th frame roll-off last night in a tournament down in Cincinnati. Huge win there for the Rough Riders.
I'm imagining not the easiest pickup, but a doable pickup here.
He should just, right through the 1-3 pocket, and the ball does the work through him. Yeah,
beautiful.
Just like that.
Textbook roll by Will Ross. We have concluded 9 frames. Now to the ever-important 10th frame. We'll start off with St. Mary's' Aiden Tiemann and Van Wert Christian Thatcher. As it displays right now, St. Mary's is down 14, but again, there's other marks to get factored in here. 7-13 to 7-27. Thatcher starts it off the way you want to in the 10th with the strike. Aiden. That hooked a little too quick on him. He's got 4 to contend with. And because Thatcher had the strike in the first, he automatically gets 3 rolls, correct?
Yeah, he's guaranteed 2 more shots, whether it's another strike, or if he leaves any count, then he...
And if Tiemann would leave 1 on after the second roll, he is done.
He said he's wishing for Brooklyn. He was hoping it got over there enough. It just didn't.
So he's got the 6-10 to contend with. Here comes Tiemann. And picks 3 of the 4 up. I believe that was the only open frame that Tiemann had in the 10th, and he's going to be at 211.
214, actually, Doug.
214. Should have kept my eyes up 1 more second.
Ooh.
Is that something that you see very often?
It is, yep. Something wasn't right. Go back. Stop the shot and get your head back up mentally and go up there and make the spare.
Near Garter. Siren that strike and leaves the 10 pin. 6-10 awaiting Thatcher. And he gets it.
213 for Thatcher.
Well, tough to get any closer between your leadoff bowlers right there. Tiemann with the 214, Thatcher 213. Ben Wert's second bowler. Finds 8 down, 2 up. Niergarter picking up that spare, and he does. He's got an opportunity for a strike ball in the 3rd roll in the 10th frame.
Van Wert second bowler here. 2-4.
Nice placement.
That's as textbook as you can make textbook.
Looks like he's going to finish with a 163. Caden Niergarter. Releases. It's going to pick up 8 more. He's going to finish with a 140 in the first game. Van Wert's bowler number 3 picks up 6.
No, it's still a second bowler. 169. Yep.
My fault. I thought he was done. So he finished with the 169.
Correct. And then Devin up here.
Oh!
And there we go. Now you hear them getting loud. You see it's close, so
yep,
they're keeping themselves in it. And
strike for strike on the third bowlers. Devin, the left-hander, releases. He finds strike number 2.
see if Van Wert can match here.
And does. That's what it's all about right here, sports fans. Devin.
A little heavy. It's a good spot for it, though. It's a good game, good finish. 162 for
162 for Devin.
Van Wert's third bowler here. See if he can get 10 more in the pit for himself. He didn't like it, but it kind of worked. Up here on lane 8.
With a 168.
Jake Ackroyd on lane 8 was able to fold out the 7-10 there. Luckily, the 10 fell. Little heavy.
Jake's second ball. Looking for the 7. Gets it. Coach Ross was talking about last night how exciting it was at the end. People were going nuts for 30 seconds, and then it would get dead quiet for the next roll in the 10th. So
you could hear a pin drop.
What a neat experience for the kids, that's for certain.
That open there. Fourth bowler, Van Wert, gives him 138. Sorry, 140. Keeps Van Wert up, though, to 845.
And now to the anchor, Sutton. Does what anchors are supposed to do, correct?
That's right. That is why they're there in the high-pressure moments. Even if they're not scoring that great, they know it's their time to step up and throw 3 in a row, no matter what the circumstances are. So,
Ackroyd with his third and final.
He made a ball change as well. That's what that little bit of delay was.
And he made the right call. He's got a 162. Things went awry there for Sutton, for Van Wert. Got half of the pins. Half still staring down senior Logan Sutton.
Will Ross stepping up on 8 here. Taking it all in from Coach Ross.
Boom.
10 in the pit right there. Never a doubt.
All right, see what kind of pickup we get here from Sutton.
Shoot it.
Oh! That was
close.
That was close.
Here's some more advice coming from Coach Ross to Will Ross. So it looks like Logan Sutton ends with 198. gives Van Wert Cougars 888. We're sitting at 833 right now.
Ball number 2 for Will. Release.
10 more.
Find 10 more. Nice job, Will Ross. Will, a junior, averaging 195. Van Wert's anchor, Sutton, finished with the 198, as Logan mentioned, and his average in the WBL is almost 180.
And these averages that I do have, they're kind of skewed. Some have had more matches than others, so I just went off of what Van Wert's page said. So if they're wrong a little bit, I do apologize to the Van Wert folks, but just quickly ran those through. So.
Will's third and final. There you see it coming at it. Leaves 2. Will finishes with a 173. Looks like Van Wert outscored St. Mary's in that first game by 37. Van Wert 888, St. Mary's 851.
All right, while the teams get wrapped up to start game 2, we'll step away for a moment. We'll be back right after these messages.
Has been a pillar of support for all St. Mary's athletes for well over 40 years. Our current membership drive is ongoing, and it has its perks. Consider joining in support of the St. Mary's athletes. Join us at the game or scan the QR code. Go Riders!
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Roughrider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Roughriders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
I don't always put a new roof on my house, but when I do, I call Eric Anderson with Grand Lake Roofing.
If you're looking for a fast, reliable, trustworthy roofing service, give myself and my team a call at Grand Lake Roofing, 567-890-ROOF.
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
The importance of quality driver's education for our teens is essential. Capabilities has provided classroom and in-car driving instruction for St. Mary's and surrounding communities for over 20 years. Live classroom and online options are available for our students. Capabilities also administers the Ohio BMV driver's exam for our students and the general public. Contact Capabilities today to learn more about our driver's education services.
Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Hi, I'm Jay Gibson, proud owner of Varsity Lanes since 2003. Visit Varsity Lanes for exceptional fun and mouth-watering food. Opt for our classic ham and cheese, or choose from various other delectable options. Every Friday night, join Roughrider fans in the lounge for food, drinks, and St. Mary's football. Can't make it? Takeout and delivery services available. Varsity Lanes is your go-to spot for daily lunch specials and dinner options. Whether you dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, Varsity Lanes, locally owned and operated, and the home of state bowling champions, and where amazing dining meets fun. Tempted? Visit or call us now. Have you made the call yet?
We did.
Fellowship of Christian.
Alrighty, we're back. Thanks to our Rider Nation Station sponsors for really allowing us to bring this to you. We like our passion of bringing to you Rough Rider sports and like bringing to you sports that typically don't get the coverage. And we would not be able to do it without the help of the fine folks that you just saw there. So the first game, the edge went to Van Wert, 888 to St. Mary's is 851. And St. Mary's is now in game 2 and trying to get things flipped back to their corner. But Logan, let's talk scoring as we watch a little bit of the bowling. We're almost through the first frame, as you see in the picture there. Logan Sutton, the anchor, getting ready to roll. So what does the 888-851 actually mean in terms of the total outcome of tonight's contest?
So tonight, as we talked about earlier, we're going to bowl two regular games, 5 Baker games. So everything gets sent over, or everything gets added up. So, you could lose this one by 30, win the next by 100, and you're up by 70. Going into the Baker games, could be up by 70. First game, one team shoots 150, the other team shoots 200. Now you're only up by 20. 30 there. So everything just counts.
It's an accumulative scoring process, and by the time that it's all said and done, whoever has more pins than the other team wins. And the Bakers is totally a different format, but it's still that accumulative score for each one of the 5 Baker scores that gets added to the 2 regular games. And
correct,
we've got a winner, whoever has the most points.
Exactly.
What happens after all of that is said and done in a WBL match? Statistically, highly improbable, but it comes down the same score for each. Is there a tiebreaker, or it just gets notched as a tie and you move on?
I don't even know that, and I'm going to find that out between now and the end of the match, because this one is tight, and it could happen. It happened last night for
a tournament,
in a tournament, yeah, where they went to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off to win the tournament. So it definitely can happen. They started bowling yesterday at 9 a.m., got done around 5:15. So 8 hours of bowling, and it came down to a tie. Through some match play matches and everything like that, but
because it was sudden death bowling for Will Ross last night, right?
Right. And so he left a baby split. If he picks up the split, they win the match. If he gets one of the 2, then they tie, and that's exactly what happened. So they then went into a 9th and 10th frame roll-off, and Will Ross did his job. Once again, we talked about the anchor bowlers before the end of the first game, and Will Ross did his job there.
So we did get names. Looks like for Van Wert, if we're in the second bowler, we're at J.P. Page, misses there, and we have a substitution for St. Mary's. right there as Seth Jacobs picks up his spare as he gets subbed in, correct?
That's correct, yes. And you've got second bowler for Van Wert is JP, right? So Jaden Page.
Yeah.
Tristan Blackmore here up on lane 8.
Devin Stutler does his job, calmly walks up and gets his strike.
Says 10 in the pit there. Tristan Blackmore up here, baby split. This is that same split that Will Ross, he grabbed one off of last night too. And what also another thing, knowing you're standing up there, you've got this baby split to pick up. And if you don't get one, you lose. Will, I don't even think he thought about not making one. He almost made the dang thing, just went right past it.
Ooh, nice pickup there by Blackmore. And that was the baby split, correct?
Correct. And that's the 210, or yeah, sorry, the 310.
Aykroyd has the 10 to pick up on his second roll. And it leaks out. He leaves it open. Van Wert bowler Hayden Davis
leaves the 4-9 there.
I'm going to have to study a lot harder to figure out the pen numbers.
Just look up on the screen, Doug.
See? Is that how you're doing it? I'm like, man, I'm looking way down there. I'm like, I can't figure this out. For St. Mary's, Will Ross. And Hayden Davis leaves it open with a 9.
And once again there, that's just him doing damage control. Making sure that he gets one. Logan Sutton here up for Van Wert.
Logan the anchor. In the first game, the high went to Aiden Tiemann with a 214. His opponent in the first position was second with a 213. That was Christian Thatcher, and then the third went to Logan Sutton with a 198 as he picks up that spare there.
Make the switch here.
But there's obviously 8 frames left in this this contest. Do you get a medalist like you do in golf in just the first 2 regular games? Do they look at that at all? Or?
So there is some points awarded throughout the WBL, and I'm sorry, I did not bowl in the WBL, and I should have been more versed on this, and I'm not. But I do know there's a point system on who does better individually, because it is a team sport, but it also is an individual sport at the same time. So there are points to become WBL leader as well during each match.
And the reason you didn't bowl in the WBL, there weren't enough teams?
I believe that's the truth. We bowled a conference that Rick Hardings over in Coldwater had helped develop. We bowled on Saturdays, and there were, depending on the house, 16 teams all at once bowling. It was elbow to elbow in this place. It was very cool atmosphere, but yeah, it was tight. Very, very, very tight. Aiden Tiemann here up on 8. Get around Scott there. Good cover, Aiden. I love Aiden's. He's in the game, always in the game.
Tristan Blackmore's in the game now for Van Wert rolling, and He's going to leave that 6-10.
Seth Jacobs here on lane 8. Nice strike by Seth Jacobs.
Good job, Seth, picking that strike up.
Taking advantage of his varsity time here tonight.
Blackmore with that little split, picks it up. Sutton, he had a strike last roll, and he equalizes it here. Oh, that was, yep, he does. That's his third strike for St. Mary's. St. Mary's is Devin Stutler. Devin averages 185. His high game is a 278 for the junior.
That's a Catalina wine mixer right there. Just somehow, some way, it all comes together and they all fall down. Got Hayden Davis going to shoot at his 10 pin here on lane 7.
He
did
knew
not like it
immediately.
Will Ross up, lane 8.
Nice job by Will Ross. St. Mary's his anchor. He's got a spare and 2 strikes in the second game. Sutton, the anchor for Van Wert, leaves the 6-10. Oh, and I finally caught it on the screen.
Did that help at all?
It verified. I was doing pretty well on the 6-10.
I guess I should have told you that earlier, but that's a little bowler insider, I guess.
It's a long way away for these eyes to figure out the positioning. He leaves that open. Boy, for Van Wert, that's a little bit of fatal flaw. 2 open frames finishing up the third.
Right, and that just, I was watching a little bit of the St. Mary's guys over there. They're finding their flow here. You see some smiles. Who knows what Scott Ross told him in the meeting there, but in between games. But it seems to me that he found some chemistry that they were lacking there in that first game, it seems like. Aiden Tiemann.
And speaking of chemistry, through the first 3, Stutler leading things the way you want it led. Strike, strike, strike. Tiemann with a high in game number 1, 214. Little bit of a struggle here in this game number 2 as he's got a 9, and a spare. 7 picked up in his first roll of the 4th. See if he can get a second spare again. And he does. Good pickup by Aiden Tiemann.
Christian, ooh.
Just misses.
Up here we've got Seth Jacobs, lane 7. Seth is a bowler who has bowled in junior league. He started out junior league. As long as I can remember, he was here. He's been a bowler. He's been practices a ton.
Good job, Seth. That's back-to-back strikes for the senior. And back to, boy, Seth has in the 4 frames, 3 strikes, 1 spare. Stutler trying to pick up his 4th, and he does. No, that's a no-doubter. It's neat when you see it from the release and you just know
that there's 10 going down.
Yep.
Absolutely. And this is where the riders are going to want to pounce.
And Van Wert's Page not able to pick up on that spare. Van Wert huddling, trying to figure things out, knowing that they can't allow the Rough Riders to take this momentum and really widen the gap. So their coach, Seth Blackmore, said, boys, let's gather and let's figure things out here real quickly.
There's another great shot.
Talking about figuring things out, there's Jake Ackroyd with a second strike in a row. Jake with a spare, an open frame 9, and 2 strikes. Tristan Blackmore is going to leave 8 from that roll. He's got the 1-2 to pick up.
Will Ross here on lane 7, just ready to maybe make this a clean frame for St. Mary's. 4-6 there. Tristan chops that one out.
So Coach Sizemore is like, yikes, we've just, here in this fourth, gone 3 straight opens.
Right, and he pulled them together there. This is a long game.
Yep, it's not a sprint. And there's what you want right there is Hayden Davis just step up, say, boys, follow me. I've got this strike. Let's build. Ross gets the 1.
Right, and it takes one person to catch that fire. And when that fire's caught, everybody catches it, and that's why you can't come back, hold your head down. You've got to be, you made a mistake. You know your team's behind you. And both these teams have some of that great chemistry, you can tell.
And Logan Sutton follows the order of Hayden Davis with a strike of his own. So something I want to talk about as we watch Christian Thatcher roll here. I think he's that two-handed release. He gets a lot of momentum and he gets stopped, but right before the line. In high school bowling, what happens if he goes across? And there's buzzers. Do they work? And if they don't work, does the coach say something? How does that all work out? Any idea?
Yeah,
it has it ever been called against you?
It is a gentleman's deal. If the foul lights are not working, when you've gone over, you've bowled enough. If you don't call it on yourself, somebody's going to call it on you. So you might as well call it on yourself. And then that shot that you've thrown is considered a 0. So looks like we're waiting on a 10-pin to get set back up here.
And here we got Seth Jacobs. He's been on fire.
See if he can keep it going.
Oh! Still a good roll. He's got the 10-pin to contend with.
Got a good shot of JV coach Sean Fishball running down there to set this 10-pin up for us.
That's a great shot of Fish.
We'll get him on their way back up too, right? There we go.
The fish cam.
The fish cam.
Only at Rider Nation Station can you have a fish cam.
I hope to see that as his Facebook profile picture now.
Thatcher releases. He picks up the count. Is that what you said? Pick up the count.
Yep. Nope.
Seth picked up his 10-pin for his spare. Boy, he's got good marks through 5 in the first game that he's bowling here tonight.
And you talk about depth in a bowling team. When Coach Ross has so much depth, to be able to see, I thought that 10-pin was going to get knocked out of there. To be able to get Seth up here, knowing that Seth is working really, really hard on the JV side of it, and today was the day to get Seth up here, and he's taking full advantage of it, and I love seeing that. the kid can bowl really, really well. So it's awesome to see him up here in the varsity ranks and striking.
And also what's going to be awesome is to see what Stutler can do with this 410. He's been striking, and he's going to get to 4. So his first open, his first non-strike frame is this one, and he's got a 9. At least, yeah, he's got a 9.
Yep.
For St. Mary's, presents Jake Ackroyd.
Ooh, solid 9-pin there. Great shot. Not much you can do about that one.
Tristan Blackmore, he's going to strike it for Coach Seth Blackmore and the Van Wert Cougars. Haven't mentioned this in a while, but if you're wondering where the footage is of the girls, we are not going to broadcast the girls at all tonight. This is just a boys broadcast, and on December 30th, when the Versailles Tigers come to Varsity Lanes, we will broadcast solely the girls match as Hayden Davis just strikes for the Cougars. And then I believe it's in January where we'll pack up and head with the Rough Riders to Astro Lanes in Wapakoneta. And we will live stream the boys and the girls for that WBL intra-county rivalry, as well. Ross just strikes as well.
And he brought that one back from the gutter. He kind of missed his spot there, but he made it work.
And the anchor for Van Wert, Sutton. He's got 3 to pick up, and it's going to be a 4-7-6.
And this is a tough spare. This is one of those, once again, get to. Very rarely do you see this one picked up because the 4 and the 6 are straight across from each other, so it's very tough to make happen. You've got to get one to come out of the back to even pick it up.
And he got what he could and moved on to the next frame. As of right now, St. Mary's has a sizable lead going into the 6th frame, but a lot of bowling left in this second game.
Right, and you see 2 opens there for St. Mary's. Some pins lost, but Aiden Tiemann going to step up here and try to make the best of that.
Aiden would like to get back on that strike streak he had in game number 1, but just not happening thus far here in game number 2. Thatcher. He's got 2. He's got the 3 and the 10 to pick up on his second roll. Aiden Tiemann. Going straight at the head, and he's going to get them all. Thatcher.
And you see that was a plastic ball that actually caused some friction and hooked a little bit. But that's what's so great about being able to throw plastic is you can still get the revs on the ball without it overhooking. It's just much safer. Jaden Page, which I believe they call him JP.
They call him JP. Seth Jacobs on his roll picked up 8. He's got second roll coming.
Doug, did I tell you how we decided to do this match over any other match?
You did not.
So I texted all the bowling coaches and I said, here's what we want to do. They all love the idea. I said, who wants what match? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Nelly.
Let's look at that again. Here it comes up on lane 8. This is as close as you can get to great shot there.
Oh, as Stotler gets back on his striking ways.
So in bowling coach fashion, they said, Logan, why don't you just flip a coin and pick? And I said, why don't you guys just flip a coin and you tell me who we're doing? So this is how we ended up doing the boys Van Wert match tonight. And yeah, it happened to be a WBL match. Compared to the 30th when we do the girls, it's an out of WBL match, but it's going to be a great match with the girls there between the Versailles Tigers and St. Mary's Roughriders. I'm really excited to get that one here on Rider Nation Station.
Blackmore leaves the 10-pin standing. Again, an open for the Cougars. Ackroyd after that 10-pin. He finds it.
That was a never doubter.
Davis has been on a strike streak of his own for Van Wert. I think that's 3. Yep, that is 3 in a row for Hayden Davis of Van Wert.
See if Will Ross can step up here and double. Soft 2-pin there. Say nothing to worry about. He can make that. He's on a strike, so plenty of pins there.
Looked like Sutton hit that 1-pin just straight on. You want to be a little left, a little right versus smack dab right in the middle?
Want to be a little right. Yep, a little right as a right-hander on the head pin. If I had a telestrator, I'd be able to draw that for you. But
hey, we have one of those.
Next time.
All right. Good pickup by Will Ross for the spare. Here comes Sutton. And he leaves 2 up. You can tell a little bit of frustration from the anchor for Van Wert, Logan Sutton, but not what he wanted, but he can regroup as Van Wert's going to talk things over right here.
And after Sutton let go of that first ball, coach came back to him, and it sounded like it was time to make a move. And I'm guessing he's probably saying that to all of his players right now. Everybody needs a move, just a titch left. They're starting to really hook down there at the end. Both teams just took some time there.
Yeah, I'm so glad we do this because 99% of sports fans probably had never seen a bowling match, and yeah, you've bowled before, but you know there's obviously skill, there's strategy, there's the mental aspect of the game. You know, a lot of people are wondering, you know, what does a coach really do anything in bowling? And by just witnessing what you saw right there, a lot, and then all the practicing. So, yeah, glad that we can show this side of a sport that doesn't get too many eyeballs on it throughout the season.
Right, and I like what you said, too, about the coaching. Just talking and being friends with other multiple coaches. Coaches are worn out after matches just as much as players. They're zoned in. They're locked in for these 3 hours. In tournament time, 8 hours. They are locked in. They're watching every single shot. And Scott just told me this last week that he's tired after a match. Yeah. And a lot of standing as well. And you know, you haven't seen one athlete sit down tonight. Everybody is standing up and on their team's backs. So Jacob after a spare on lane 8.
Ooh, Seth, that one just hooked on him too quick and leaves 3 pins up. Nope, that's 2 consecutive for Seth of opens. here comes Tristan Blackmore for Van Wert, and
that's the split camera we need.
So Blackmore's got the 4-7-10 to contend with, and Stutler's got the 3.
I think I would choose Stutler's over Blackmore's.
But if he picks this up, that's a lot more fun. He found right through the uprights on that. Stutler trying to pick up that 3 and does so.
Unlike football, you don't get 3 points.
Nope.
Hayden Davis up here for Van Wert. Crosses over for a Brooklyn strike.
And if you look at his scorecard, he's got a lot of X's up there. He's taken to heed the objective of this game, and he's got at least 4 in a row right now.
Right, and you see that the lead that St. Mary's has, they're up 591 to 470 right now. And, you know, if that one bowler is not staying in the game and everybody just gives up, this game's over. But luckily with bowling, it's not in their heads ever like that. Everybody's here to back everybody up. It's what's so great about the sport. Everybody wants to bowl well.
And that's how you back it up right there. Jake Ackroyd steps up. Spares. Anchor bowler for Van Wert, Logan Sutton. Easy peasy on that one. Good spare by Sutton.
And if you look at the screen, he had multi-pin spares. They're tough, and you chop them. The ball just doesn't hook the way you want it to. When you get those single pin spares, you can take that deep breath and make that spare. It's much easier too. So, notorious lane 8 hook. And Will, he's a young man of few words. But he's always thinking how to get better, what can I do. Great athlete all around too.
Yeah, I remember covering him on the soccer pitch. Yeah, he's a great soccer player and picks that one up. Great bowler as well. All righty, so we're heading to frame number 8.
The setup to the setup.
St. Mary's trying to keep the wide lead that they have. Van Wert trying to figure out a way to cut into that deficit. They won the first game 888 to 851. All right, so what's your strategy on this one?
You want to hit to the right side of the 3-pin. And we're talking about lane 8, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So,
and then talk about lane 7.
So, want to hit to the right side of the 3-pin, let the ball take out the 6-10, and let the 3-pin slide over and hit the 7. Yep.
All right, see what Thatcher can do here.
Let's get close. Oh. That's about as close as you can get to it. And then 2 ways to shoot this one. One is to throw it straight, have your spare ball deflect off the head pin and go to the right and get the 2, or get the shot to the left and have the head pin get the 2 on the right.
Let's see what we're going to do here. Yep, Aiden comes up with 3 of them.
And the key thing there was he got as much count as he possibly could. And I think I've said that 100 times so far. We've had a lot of splits, or technically not a split because the head pin's there, but I still consider it a split.
Seth Jacobs. Seth started this game number 2 extremely hot. Cooled just a little bit here. Got the opportunity to pick up the 2-4-10 split. And Page picks his up. Good pickup by J.P. Page from Van Wert. Senior, Seth Jacobs. Addresses, releases. Nice! That's worthy of some replay right there. Seth Jacobs.
See if we can find 2 of these replays.
Watch that, sports fans.
Just ever so slightly gets that 10 out.
And from a little bit of a different angle here.
Does it exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Oh, that's great.
And there's a tough split right there.
Let's get the replay camera ready, though.
Yes, it's ready to go. He had one bounce out across the lane earlier, so see if we can do that again. And
so if he has any chance of this, is he?
If I'm shooting this, I'm going to throw it at the 9.
He's a left-hander.
I guess yeah.
Oh. That's how I would have tried.
Yeah, there's really no good way. You know, if you shoot it at the corner pin, you get the bounce off the wall a little more likely, but I throw it hard and make sure I get one.
Davis stops his strike streak with that roll, has 6 down, 4 to go. Aykroyd. He's got a 6-10 left. See there, Seth Blackmore, coach for Van Wert, talking things over with Hayden Davis. Hayden had at least 4 strikes in a row, and before he left 4 standing.
And you see they were taking their time over there on lane 8, and Jake says, I just want to go pick this thing up. And
I got work to do.
Yeah.
Here comes Davis.
Tough spare.
Gets 3 of the 4. So he goes from the 4 strikes to an open. Presents roll for Will Ross.
Good shot there.
Oh.
Logan Sutton over there on.
Yeah, and I think you even mentioned early in game number 1, Split City here.
Yes. And
it stayed that way.
And that this shot is very tough. And I alluded to it earlier about this not being a house shot. You've got to hit marks. They've got very minimal room to miss. And you see a bunch of different pin action, too, on different shots. And so it's much easier to split than normal house shots.
Oh,
that one almost came out of the back. I was ready for the replay button.
Yeah, Sutton got darn close to picking that one up, but to no avail.
And then the other thing, too, with splits. Me personally, if I see a split on one lane that's next to me, I'm not going. I will wait it out as long as I have to for the to go. I want to see a single pin up there, and that to me, it's just a mental thing. And if we went through all of my routines and regiments I do for bowling, we could have the show go on until midnight. But seeing that one, that was a great shot. Just carried a little too long and come up with the 210 there. Aiden Tiemann, see if he can get back on the board there. Ooh.
Got the 7 left.
Christian up here. Is he waiting on a ball?
There's that two-handed form release. Hayden finds the 7. Yes, he does.
JP up here on lane 7.
Jaden, the left-hander. Releases. Leaves one. Seth Jacobs. Seth had that remarkable pickup in the last frame. Maybe he can have a remarkable pickup in this one. Seth's after it. He gets the count, leaves one. Here's JP Page. Leaks left and leaves it open.
It's going to be interesting talking with Scott once we're all wrapped up here, just to see what he thinks, what's going on with lanes. They seem what I would say is wishy-washy, crossed over. There's a lot of oil going this way and this way. To where the balls just aren't hooking as they should be. There we go. And so it'll be interesting to see if that's what he saw as well.
Well, Stutler figured something out there on lane number 8 as he finds his strike, and Jake Ackroyd wanting to replicate what his teammate has just done. Releases. And can't get that 10 to fall. It scooted. It wouldn't fall. Oh, my! Tristan Blackmore, let's watch that one again, sports fans.
As textbook as you can make this, the 410.
That is
Just
a thing
awesome.
of beauty right there.
Jake up here for his 10-pin.
Made that one look easy. Good spare for the junior from St. Mary's. Hayden Davis didn't like his roll there. He's got 6 down. An assortment of 4 that he's got to figure out how to get the best of on his next roll. Junior anchor Will Ross. Fine.
That's amazing.
That's cruel and unusual right there. Davis gets 3 of the 4.
Let's see if Will elects to go here before Logan. Yep, he says, I'll take it.
Then we're getting some instruction. Will's ready to roll. And finds it.
Logan's taking some instruction too from Coach Blackmore. In the 9th frame here, St. Mary's up 752 to 617. They had a good 9th there, just one open in the 9th. Everything else spares one strike.
What's an ideal team score? Obviously, you want to have more than the other team, but if you're setting a goal that you think, all right, if we roll this, we should be in the driver's seat. What are you looking for in a team score?
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000's 200 across the board. So 5 bowlers, 200 games apiece. So when you're shooting thousands, you're pretty much winning a match. Which the boys have shot 1,000 a couple times this year. The St. Mary's boys. I didn't dig that deep in depth with Van Wert, but this team is definitely capable of popping those off.
Lead off for Van Wert. Christian Thatcher leads off the way they want with a strike.
You hear Coach Ross walking through, big 10th right here. He wants to keep this lead that they had earned back here in this game, and just keep it growing.
Keep in mind, in game number 1, St. Mary's lost by 37. But as Logan's explained to us, it's an accumulative score. So we're looking in totality, 2 regular bowled games plus the 5 Baker games that come right after this one. And you add them all up, and whoever has the most is the victor. So Christian Thatcher, second roll, has the 5-10 split that he's got to pick up. Oh, that ball just drops off for the 10 pin, and that's one that I'm sure Aiden Tiemann would like to have back to get that third ball. Thatcher, just hooks too quickly, leaves that open as well. Here comes Seth Jacobs. Seth was substituted in for the second game. Started off hot. Looks like he's going to end this one hot as he gets ball number 1 in the 10th with a strike.
Jaden Page here up for Van Wert. On and open. Leaves the 1-2-9. Sorry, the 1-3-9.
That's what I was going to say. Once it flashed up there on the TV. Like right now. All right, Seth Jacobs, number 2.
Wrap the 10 right around it.
Good ball, just left that 10 standing. Got a chance for a spare ball. Seth did a nice job substituting in on game number 2 here. Oh, nice pickup by J.P. Page. And here comes Seth. He's after his spare, gets it. Good work by Seth Jacobs. Finishes with a 169.
JP.
Stutler's been producing this game, and he continues in that first roll in the 10th. You know, an interesting observation, and it is there's a lot of bowling here, but the 2 tops points in the first game were the number 1 bowlers. And they kind of struggled in the second game. They went from 214, 213 down to 149, 141. And that's just bowling.
It is. It's just bowling. But you during that first match, you can tell that those 2 wanted to beat each other. So they were going back and forth. They were kind of giving little looks in that first match. You go back and watch this, and you'll see that as well. But they do. Not that it matters head to head, but they just want to win against each other regardless. So those strikes that are falling and maybe not falling for the other guy, they're giving themselves a little pat on the back there. As Stetler steps up here to pick up his 8-pin there.
And before Stetler picked that spare up, Van Wert's Blackmore picked up his strike.
Let's see, 675 right now for Van Wert, or sorry, 674 for Van Wert. Tristan Blackmore up.
Ooh. Blackmore picks up 8. Jake can't find that 10-pin on his first one.
And those are all good shots. You just see the 6 going around the 10-pin. Small little adjustment will take care of that. But when you have confidence in your spare game, it's hard to make that move.
Oh! Leaked out just a little too much, finds the gutter. And Blackmore couldn't pick that spare up either.
Will Ross with the ball change.
So Blackmore finishes with a 148. Stutler with a 212. Hayden Davis back to striking ways. Here we see Will Ross, the junior anchor for St. Mary's. Everything looked pretty there, except, wow, what's left is a 7-10 split to pick up.
Hayden Davis here up on 8. Davis leaving the 2-pin. Will up here on lane 7. See if we can make this 7-pin split.
And
first thing out of his hand, shake it off. Team's behind him. So for St. Mary's, 863. As Davis finishes up his 10th frame there. Going to be a 180 for him.
Interesting thing, the high score so far is Aiden Tieman's 214. As you see Sutton pick up 9 there. The second best score so far is 213 by Christian Thatcher, and the third best score was just rolled in the second game by Stutler with a 212.
Right.
214, 213,
212.
212. And Logan Sutton
covers his 2-pin.
Yeah, breaking that 200 mark's not the easiest task.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm going to allude again back to this house shot compared to the shot that they're on tonight. They're on a more collegiate shot tonight that the WBL has put into place, and it's tough to score. It can be scored on, but everything has to be going right. And tonight it's just tough. It was kind of the weather outside today. It was warm this morning, then it got rainy, so humidity and that all plays into bowling. So believe it or not.
So are there different oil schemes?
Correct. The invisible playing field on a.
So the house can determine how they want the lanes to
play it.
Behave.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, and
length.
you mentioned something about the WBL. Can they request that the lanes are supposed to be this particular
correct
behavior or whatever?
Yep, and across the WBL, they're all supposed to be on the same shot. Even though the house is different, obviously.
Yeah,
we know
right.
lane 8 here hooks a lot more than lane 7. But it can generally play different from house to house. Each house shot, if we were to put down a house shot, let's say from Salina and put it down at Varsity Lanes, it's not going to play the same at Varsity Lanes as it does at Salina. So it's just the invisible playing field. I did not grab what they were bowling on tonight. I believe it's something 42 foot long. From foul line to head pin, you've got 60 feet, so 42 feet you'll see some oil. With less friction, more oil in the middle from the beginning, less at the end, and that's how they're building up that friction.
Interesting.
Right, so I think right now we're heading into Baker's. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Baker action right after this.
St. Mary's Rider Rooters has been a pillar of support for all St. Mary's athletes for well over 40 years. Our current membership drive is ongoing, and it has its perks. Consider joining in support of the St. Mary's athletes. Join us at the game or scan the QR code. Go Riders!
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Roughrider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Roughriders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sport.
Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated like a Rough Rider first down for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
Explore Jackalope Stash Men's Clothing Store located in downtown St. Mary's for all of your men's clothing needs. Here at this brick and mortar haberdashery, you will find clothing needs for every formal or informal occasion, making any man who shops at Jackalope Stash the best dressed in the room. Do you have an upcoming wedding, dance, or date night? Get fitted for a dapper tuxedo or fashionable suit. Quality, style, stash. Jackalope Stash. Visit us online, or better yet, come see us in downtown St. Mary's, where riders shop.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach.
If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8255 888-888-8343. Wondering what it would cost to have a generator for your home or business? Contact Sean Burnett Electrical for a complimentary estimate for installation and yearly maintenance.
Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful. I'm in Sean's corner, and Sean will be in yours for all your electrical needs.
St. Mary.
Alrighty, back here, Varsity Lanes. My name's Doug Spencer, alongside me, Logan Yelton. We are Rider Nation Station, bringing to you Roughrider Bowling of the boys variety tonight. December 30th, we will bring to you girls bowling as the Versailles Tigers come to Varsity Lanes, and we will broadcast just girls. Then in January, we will be bringing to you Wapakoneta boys and girls versus St. Mary's at Astro Lanes. And Logan, we've had 2 games of regular bowling, and St. Mary's has the lead, but now it's Baker time. 5 games, 5 Baker games, and for those that aren't familiar with Baker games, talk to us about how this, the rules of Baker games and the strategy behind that.
As we get a leaner to fall.
That was a leaner.
Yeah, so Baker games, we've got 5 bowlers on a team. Bowler number 1's going to bowl frames number 1 and 6. 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9, 5 and 10.
Anchor has 5 and 10.
So the stronger bowler, typically you're going to see bowl the anchor spot. That gives them more chances to gain more pins in the 10th frame. Coming out here from the break, St. Mary's is putting it on strong. We're plus 97 right now for the entire match. And we're striking, and that's 4 in a row there for St. Mary's against Van Wert there. So,
and again, we talked. You just take the 2 regular games, the 5 Baker games, you add them all together in totality, and whoever has the most wins
the match. Absolutely.
And you talked earlier about this game being very competitive. You know, maybe a glance, a look, and hey, did you see that I just got that strike and you didn't? But the cheering, especially, you come out of the gate strong like St. Mary's just did in that Baker game, and you know that you have strike after strike after strike. How does the mentality of that work when you're struggling a little bit and trying to overcome and get back into this match?
Right, it can either amp you up or take you down. The louder you are and you're striking on top of being loud, it's deflating that other team. But at the same time, these games go so quick, and it takes 2 mistakes, and next thing you know, that lead you just built, it's gone, or it can be gone.
Good pick up there by the junior Jake Ackroyd. Tristan Blackmore for Van Wert. Getting ready to try to pick up his spare.
And if you notice too, they're going to be flipping lanes, but just after the game, so not after each individual shot. So after this first Baker game, they'll flip over.
Good pick up by Blackmore. Brings us to Will Ross.
Oh, 6 wraps around the 10 there, and
like to give a shout out to Jay Gibson, the owner of Varsity Lanes, girls head coach, for providing us with the accommodations we have here tonight, making this all happen, and especially providing a pretty darn good pizza.
Oh, it was a great pizza.
As we were getting set up, it was pretty tasty.
Covers that 10 pin. Yeah, I can't thank all of the coaches, and then of course, owner of Varsity Lanes, Jay Gibson. I mean, just just gives us the best accommodations to let us do what we do. And I know Brian will do the same over there in Walpock at Astro Lanes when we go there on January 9th.
Do I have to say he's got the best pizza then?
Oh, we'll let them battle that out on
And again, we need to thank TSC, our friends at TSC. They're true believers in what we do and the community, and helping encourage other people to see sports that typically don't get seen. The internet speed here for us to broadcast isn't good enough, and so with a nice request of TSC to bump us up where we need to be for tonight to do this live stream, here we are bringing this contest to you. So thank you to our friends at TSC. Hayden Davis with his attempt to pick that up, finds the gutter, leaves it empty.
And we see St. Mary's there wrapping that up. We talked earlier going into the commercial break. The highest score so far was 214, and now we go to Baker's. St. Mary says, "Nah, we're gonna go 236." They must have heard you. Van Wert Cougars into that game with 146.
And that's amazing how fast these Bakers do go.
Right. You think of it as you've got one name up there, so think about how you could come out here by yourself and bowl one game. That's pretty much how quick you would bowl one game right there. Maybe you would go a little slower. These guys throw a lot of strikes. So.
But they wouldn't have as many straight line throws as what I will.
That's right.
It would take me less time putting my bowling ball away versus their multitude of bowling balls. That cracks me up that there's that variety and the strategy behind it.
No, absolutely.
All right, Christian Thatcher's going to try to get things moving for Van Wert here. The two-handed thrower, he releases, and it doesn't go where he wants it to. He's going to leave 4 up.
Just like that after that first Baker game.
And Seth Jacobs, that's a fun one. Let's replay that one if you don't mind, Logue. Seth Jacobs with his roll. Puts it where it needs to be, and the 7 decides
let's watch the second angle of this one, too. It's going to be nice and close with that 7 getting tapped out of there. Right off the wall.
Nice.
Riders up after first Baker game, 187.
Good attempt to get this, and he does. Nice job, Christian Thatcher.
Let's take a look. At first, I thought he didn't like it, but then, he just found friction and says, "Give it to me."
Exactly what I had in mind. Did we get a sub in here?
I believe so.
And sorry, we don't have that name. Looks like JP.
That's Gavin.
JP Page got subbed out.
Gavin Springer.
And we believe it might be Gavin Springer subbing in to the Baker games. Now, how many substitutions can you make in Bakers?
So in this case, just one. So you could put somebody else back in, but you can't put the person you just took out back in for somebody else.
So JP could come in the next. Could he come in at all during this game?
Yes, because he didn't start the game.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
But typically, you're throwing 2 shots. You try to let them have at it.
Blackmore. He's got 7 down, 3 standing.
Devin here on lane 8. Looking down at a 10 pin.
Good pick up by Devin. Getting those high fives in with his teammates.
Tristan's going to be up here trying to shoot the 1-2-4. Sorry, 1-2-4.
Blackmore Jr. hits it where it needs to be, picks that up for Van Wert and Coach Seth Blackmore.
Jake Ackroyd, he knew that right away.
Yep. Good roll by the junior, Jake Ackroyd.
Averaging 185. His high gain 299.
Hayden Davis can't quite get it where he needs it. Has 4 pins remaining.
I asked the team just kind of give us a little bit about themselves and their favorite bowling memory, and I just looked down at Jake's, and yep, that's his favorite memory, shooting 299 at the Jaguar tournament. And then also the win last night for Jake.
Will was not happy with that roll there. He's got a spare opportunity, as did Davis. Couldn't pick that one up. So 299 is all strikes and a spare, correct?
All strikes, in the last shot you leave 9 pins.
What?
The 12th
Yikes. Ball. Yikes.
So imagine a 290 with 11 strikes in a row. Yeah, you threw it in the gutter. Not that I know anything about that, but I do.
Will Ross trying to pick that up. What would have happened if that pin there, it was in the back, and it would have come forward, hit that pin from behind?
So it counts.
It does count.
Yes. Unlike a bowling ball, out of the gutter and it hits a pin, that does not count. Once the ball's in the gutter, it's out of bounds. But a pin can bounce every which way and come back and get it. So. Seth Jacobs up here on lane 8. Trying to add more.
What'd he leave? The 610, I think?
Correct. Yep, 610.
Back to Thatcher. Leaves to 10. So interesting, just thinking about this, you know, Seth gets subbed in for game number 2, and then does he get put into the lead?
Get put into...
for the Bakers, is he the one?
Yeah, yep. So it looks like Coach Ross had him go up to the lead bowler there. And then looks like Aiden moved down to the second spot then.
Good pick up by Thatcher. And I wonder how much fluctuation Coach Ross from game match to match has in his Baker lineup. But does it just depend on the sense of how his bowlers are doing?
So I was always
told... Or does he flip a quarter?
Yeah, he could flip a quarter like they did for this match. The leadoff guy is the guy who's going to get things started. He probably liked what Seth had in a look, knowing he's either going to spare or strike, according to the end of the second game. So Coach Ross just had to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and keep the team going because the chemistry is so good right now. We just went up by XYZ amount of pins, and so yeah, there is a game there in that fluctuation of where bowlers are placed, and there's a method behind the madness as well. And Coach Ross, I had him write some things down. He knows his bowling. He's got roughly 2300s and over 5 800s that he can remember. That wasn't not during a league play. So knows his bowling. He coached me. I wish I would have listened more back then. I tell him that all the time too. Gosh, they've won state 2 times, 2017, 2019 as well.
Is that Niergardner that's in?
That is Niergardner,
yeah.
Yes.
Was that a sub that was just made, or did he start Baker 2?
No, I did not see the first shot there. It's a good possibility there was a sub. Lane 8 must be the hard lane.
Oh!
There we go.
Jake says, nah. Good strike by Jake Atwood. Hayden Davis is going to leave that, what do we got there, Logan? 5-10?
That is the 210. Yeah.
210. So close.
You're on it. By the end of this match, you're not even going to need the screens.
I've got the 10 pin down.
We've seen a lot. 10 in the pit for Will Ross. See if we can get another split. Oh. You know, looking at the rake, take that 10 pin away. I think for the next match we need to get a Rider Nation Station rake board.
That'd be sweet.
I'll get the sticker made tomorrow.
Sutton leaves the 7.
Another 10 in the pit for Will Ross.
Taking care of business, little BTO, Will Ross.
Logan Sutton up here. Take care of this 7 pin.
Good spare for Sutton. Final roll for this one.
10.
Exactly what you want. Will Ross striking out the 10th frame.
Yep, and that game kind of got a little finicky there for the Riders. But that last half of the game, 4 strikes in a row. And like you said, taking care of business.
So Baker number 1, St. Mary's had 236, and then that one with a little bit of shakiness, they dropped down to 168. Van Wert with the 146 and the 122. They came into the Bakers down, what'd you say, 90?
Came into the Bakers, Van Wert was down 97.
97.
Yep. And then after the first Baker, 187. And mind you, 168, 128, that's still 40 pins gained. So 40 pins game and had some issues there at the beginning of that Baker game. So that's huge. That's why I love Baker games so much, because you can make or break it right then and there. So that gives the Riders right now 2,118 to Van Wert's 1891.
So what's that differential?
So differential being 227.
All right, to see what each team has in store for Baker number 3. There rolls Thatcher.
Okay.
Starts it off the way you want with the strike.
We want to see a 300 here at Rider Nation. Baker 300, and that's the first way to start it with the strike. Seth Jacobs up here. Van Wert for 2 in a row.
Van Wert. Who did we say the substitution was for Van Wert again?
Substitution was Gavin Springer.
Gavin Springer. Good roll by Springer. Brings up Tristan Blackmore for Van Wert.
Blackmore, do you like it? Oh, there's 3 in a row. Seth.
And Seth does a nice job covering that, getting that spare.
Hayden Davis up here for Van Wert. Trying to go 4 in a row here.
And they do. Kaden Niergarter. With the release. Just didn't turn where he needed it to turn, and has got 4 pins to go. The anchor for Van Wert. Oh, could not get that 10 to go. So Van Wert with 4 straight strikes and an opportunity for a 10-pin spare.
And we're going a little slow right here, but Van Wert's already up to 117 to start this game off. So, but we're only in our second ball. But that's how quickly pins can change here.
Good attempt by Niergarter to pick up that. Here comes Sutton and does get that spare for Van Wert. So Van Wert with 5 marks in the first 5.
Possibility at 279 for Van Wert.
Devin. Left-hander rolls and leaves 1.
4 pin.
Oh!
Another strike for Van Wert here.
Christian Thatcher back-to-back strikes, and Van Wert really heating up. And Baker number 3. Sutler gets that 4-pin spare. Springer.
10 in the pit.
Doing what he did in the second. Jake Ackroyd with the release. It turns. It creates a little bit of trouble.
The big 4.
Blackmore.
Leaves the bucket.
The bucket.
The 2, 4, 5, 8.
See what Jake can do with the big 4. Left the open door.
Left the open door. See if Will Ross, or sorry, Tristan's going to go up there and take control here.
See if he can kick the bucket, Logue.
Yeah,
he kicked it.
Kicked the bucket. It's going to be a big shot for Will. Just going to turn this Baker game around.
That 10-pin's been pretty fickle all night.
It has been very fickle.
Doesn't want to go down. Doesn't want to cooperate. Hayden Davis with that roll, and he's got. It seems like we've been saying a lot that 4 pins standing after first throw.
Correct. A lot of multi-pin spares.
Ross with the pickup of the 10 and leaks it right and comes up empty.
See if Coach Ross pulls them together here and has a quick meeting with them.
Davis able to get 3 of the 4. And there you see Coach Ross. What do you want? Coach Ross doing some team instructions.
Gets them pulled together there. Strike there by Logan Sutton on lane 8.
Yeah, I see why you like the Bakers, because things can change pretty darn quick. See if Steph Jacobs can get the Riders back on track.
Oh, great shot. Just a stone 8 pin. You can't really move off of that. There's not much you can do.
Sutton with the second ball in the 10th frame. And he
10 more.
Gets 10 more. St. Mary's still in the 6th frame.
Seth Jacobs pick up this spare here. 8 pin, same shot as a strike shot.
And strike delivers, but a spare. All right, Sutton, ball number 3 of game 3. And he turkeys.
So 230 for Van Wert there.
Whatever Coach Blackmore's speech was after Baker number 2 leading into Baker number 3.
Yeah, it works.
Was quite effective.
That reminded me of Space Jam there when they went into the locker room and had some of Michael Jordan's water. Got it put together there. And yep, all St. Mary's needs to do here is just calm down, deep breath, make a couple good shots, and back to it.
Looks like a good ball there, but it's going to leave the 7 pin for Devin. And do you want to be somewhat slow as Van Wert's just got to stand around and wait? And they were pretty hot, you know, kind of like freezing a kicker or something like that, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, the advantage for Van Wert is, boy, they rolled a phenomenal game, but they were lightning quick, and now they just got to kind of stand around and wait.
And you've said it a few times about strategy, and there's plenty of strategy in bowling. And like you just said, this is one of them.
And it's something that you probably would never think about for a bowling match if you weren't really familiar with the game at all. But definitely some chess playing going on.
Yeah, and you know, you get to call this timeouts in football, and this is virtually the timeout.
Right.
We're on about 4 minutes already of Van Wert just waiting, and see if they'll come out. I bet they're the first ones to throw the ball in the next Baker game.
Ooh, good try by Jake Ackroyd. Yeah, especially you know when you're hot, you want to keep it going. You want to see if you can sustain what you just did in Baker number 3. And here St. Mary's is just getting ready to roll the 10th.
So going into this third Baker game, we are up 227. We have a possibility of being up by only about 120 after this game.
And there's that 10 pin.
And this is a big thing, too. I'm looking back. I'm watching Logan Sutton back there, the senior leader of this team, of the Van Wert team. They're back there. They're having fun. He's keeping this hype up even during this break. So, you know, looking at the team together there, they're kind of inching their way over to the St. Mary's side right now, too. Maybe crowding a little bit. No, I mean, just a little, but saying, hey, we're ready to go.
Will Ross is ready to go. He's got the 10 to pick up, and deja vu for Will Ross, as I believe that happened in the 5th as well. So it looks like St. Mary's is going to finish with a 122 to Van Wert's 230. So a definite advantage for Baker game number 3 for the Cougars. They were down 227 going into game number 3. Now they're only down, Logan,
119. So right now, St. Mary's still leads 22-40 to 21-21. So 119 pins they can't have another one like that happen. Otherwise, game 5 is going to be a crazy match.
And is there, see if we have any substitutions. Thatcher, as we thought. Van Wert would be ready to roll. And that's been a long time since Thatcher hasn't had a strike. And he's got 3 pins to contend with on his second roll.
St. Mary's just regrouping here. They're going to take their time. They don't have a 40-minute drive home. They'll wait until they have to go. So
Thatcher with a nice job picking that assortment of pins up. Seth will get things started for St. Mary's, and boy, I think he's been in this situation before with the 4-pin up.
Yeah.
Springer, who got substituted in, he's been pretty hot. He might be the spark plug here for the Cougars.
Right. It's like they hit him and said, we're going to wait until Baker's, bring him in, and fire him up.
See how Seth handles this 4-pin that's looking at him. And he leaves it open.
Blackmore up here on lane 7.
That one kind of leaked on him.
Right, they yelled Brooklyn right off his hand. They were hoping that thing would cross over for him. Aiden Tiemann up here for the Riders on 8.
So Aiden was sitting for the Baker number 3. Got some rest, see what he does, and he's going to have the 4-7 to contend with. Blackmore picks it up.
Covers the double wood there. It's always scary when you have one right behind another. Those are tough as well. The ball can just deflect and the pin miss it just barely, but good cover there.
Aiden Tiemann with his second ball. 4-7, finds the 7. Davis. Ooh.
Well, that's a makeable split too. So,
and what's your advice to Hayden if you're his coach right now?
Get one. Secondly, though, if we're going to try to shoot it, we're going to move a titch right and just hook it at it and just try to hit the left side of that 2-pin and slide it on over into the 10. Looks like a strike there.
Yeah, St. Mary's.
Just didn't hook enough, but yeah, covered himself on making sure he got one.
Here comes Jake Ackroyd. Jake does what he needs to do, get that strike. Good job, Mr. Ackroyd.
Big double there for St. Mary's.
And the anchor for Van Wert, Sutton. Oh!
Got the mixer to go
there, yeah.
Did you notice Will change balls on the shot?
No.
He's going back to the melee jab. A little more controlled.
And got it.
Yeah,
good switcheroo for Mr. Ross there.
That's back 3 in a row for St. Mary's there, yeah.
To the lead bowler, Thatcher, and he gets the strike.
That right there was textbook 10 in the pit. Not one pin sitting in the gutter, all straight back. Great shot there.
Kaden Niergarter for St. Mary's. Oh, nice job, Mr. Niergarten. St. Mary's doing a nice job protecting their lead at this point. Here comes Springer. Leaves 3. Looks like Tiemann. Nice roll, but he's got the 4 pin to contend with. Springer.
Get over there. All right. It's a big shot by Aiden here. Make sure he covers this spare. That's going to keep the morale up over there for the St. Mary's Roughriders. And perfect.
And he does it. A little cheering time for the Roughriders as Tristan Blackmore approaches lane 7, releases, and he's got a 5-10 load?
That would be the 3-10
3-10.
baby split, yep.
Devin's not worried about splits.
Devin says, put them all back there. I don't want to throw 2.
Nice job, Devin. Got one. All right, so as Baker 3 was kind of an Achilles heel for St. Mary's, Baker 4 is for Van Wert. Jake gets 9, that 10 pin standing.
Hayden Davis for Van Wert. Seven count there, the 1-2-10. Jake shooting the 10 pin here on 8.
Nice job picking that up, Jake. A lot of good things happening for the Roughriders. Baker number 4. And Davis comes up empty on that spare pickup attempt.
Logan Sutton is going to go first here in the 10th for Van Wert.
Oh, nice movement on that ball and nice strike for Logan Sutton. Logan, the senior.
Senior, he throws the ball really well.
And tit for tat. Will Ross says, I can do that. Ball number 2 for Logan Sutton. We're in the 10th. Baker number 4. It's got 9. That 9 pin was left. Will Ross release.
Here's a 2 pin.
And Sutton to pick up the 9. And he does. No problemo.
Will Ross up here to finish up this game for the Riders. Get them to 207. If he picks this up.
So St. Mary's with 206 and Baker number 4. Van Wert 154. So St. Mary's protected its 119-point lead, adding 52. Play 167 up now, Logan.
That's what I think. One more click of the button for math. 171.
171. Well,
game 5.
That's the game they needed right there.
Yep.
I mean, they would really have to fall apart here.
Yeah, basically have to shoot 0. Because let's see, 230.
And Van Wert starts off hitting 7.
And this is where, too, St. Mary's pull it back together. The first 4 Baker games, 236, 168, 122, 206. That 122 game, just, bad game, move on with the day, and go from there. They're averaging roughly 175 for Baker games in league play. A good cover over there.
That's how you do it.
Work.
So mind you, this contest started a little right at 5 o'clock, and we're just starting Baker number 5, and it's 2 hours and 48 minutes later.
Right. They're long days.
Yeah.
And mind you, the kids, they've all gone to school today too. And it's been a long day for them as well. Just bowling. So bowling, school, and everything else, the bus trip over.
Tiemann. He picks it up. Nice job, Aiden.
And mind you, Riders are back in action tomorrow as well.
And they had a long day yesterday.
Had a very long day yesterday. Yeah, they're over in Salina tomorrow. St. Mary's Roughriders are. The Van Wert Cougars get a break, then they're going to see Salina on the 14th. So 3 long days in a row of bowling for St. Mary's.
Diergarter with a nice ball, but that 10-pin standing strong. Nice pickup by Blackmore. That one might be worth replaying if you got.
Let's see if I can catch the end. Just missed it.
Thatcher.
Leaving the right side. 3-6-10. Caden Diergarter here.
Picking that up, Caden. Thatcher trying to pick the spare up, and does. Nice work by Christian Thatcher. Devin leaves that 7-pin standing by its lonesome. Lots of thank yous to give as Sutton rolls here. Thank you to Jay Gibson, owner of Varsity Lanes, for helping us with the accommodations to bring this contest to you. Thank you to TSC for bumping up the internet speed here for tonight. in order for us to get this feed out to you. Thank you to our sponsors who allow us to be able to do events like this for you today, and like we like to say, 50 years from now. Hopefully these young bowlers can show their kids, grandkids, what Roughrider Bowling was all about in 2024. And thank you to Hunter Winget for operating the camera. And Loke, nice job tonight. We've been almost talking for 3 hours about bowling, of which one of us know a lot about. And,
I wouldn't say a lot,
and
just enough to be dangerous.
And one is dangerous. But it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully the kids, parents, grandparents really enjoy, and we're glad to be able to do this. And we'll have the girls December 30th. Versailles head to Varsity Lanes, and we'll bring you that broadcast. And then the Wapakoneta match, we will do a simulcast of boys and girls at the same time. So I don't think we've ever done more than one in a year, and this year we're hitting 3 of them.
Yeah,
so,
we ramped it up, and that's on me. So I appreciate you, Doug, and Uncle Rich, and let me make that happen. The other thing is Phil Austin's going to be back on for the Walpock match.
Nice.
He did confirm with me the other day about that, so he will be there.
That's a guy that knows a thing or two about bowling.
You want to talk about the good dangerous? Yes, he knows everything, and he's fun to watch bowl. He's a great guy to be around in bowling, and really appreciate him saying yes to that one on the Walpock match as well. So, or for the Walpock match. So. But thank you for allowing this to happen.
Yeah, thank you for setting it up and doing all the legwork, and it's been fun. Just like you saw Will Ross there hit that spare, it's been fun watching you commentate, push buttons, and make this all work. So just been here along for the ride. It's been good. We're getting close to the end as Van Wert is heading into the 8th frame of the final Baker game. St. Mary's is in the 6th. There you see Aiden Tiemann with the roll. Gets 9 down. Here comes Tristan Blackmore.
Aiden Tiemann stepping up here to pick up his 2-pin.
And really the most difficult thing about this broadcast is how long it is in our battery life. So,
right.
And I think you've been doing a good enough job that people probably don't even know that we've lost a couple cameras and had to make some changes to the batteries, but it's a long time for these cameras and wireless systems to work.
Right. But we've got to say a big thank you as well to Rich Spencer. He's behind us and making sure everything's running as smooth as it possibly can. He's going through changing batteries and tapping me on the shoulder when I'm not paying attention enough to change the camera angle. So appreciate that.
Back-to-back strikes, Niergarter for St. Mary's and Thatcher for Van Wert. Devin, and he gets it to fall. Here comes Sutton. Sutton's in the 10th, his first ball, he strikes it.
So both with 2 strikes here. Van Wert's already in the 10th, yeah. Jake Ackroyd stepping up here in the 9th for St. Mary's.
look good, but the result is 3 pins standing for Jake. And that would be the 4, the 7, and the 10. And Sutton on lane 8 has left the 9 pin after that strike. Jake almost like what he did there. And Sutton picks up
his 9 pin, yep.
His 9 pin to finish Van Wert's final Baker game with a 158, I believe. Yep. And here's Will Ross. Will's got 4 standing. He's got the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 8.
Coach Ross just telling Will, just spare it up. You know what you're doing.
And he got 3 of the 4. So St. Mary's ends the Baker game number 5 with a 169. Van Wert, as we mentioned just a few seconds ago, finished with a 158. And St. Mary's probably wins by 182 pins.
That's exactly what I came up with, Doug.
All right, good victory for St. Mary's. A little bit of a roller coaster ride, but they held it all together. And St. Mary's gets the WBL notch versus the Van Wert Cougars. And Loke, what do you take away from this bowling match if you're Coach Scott Ross?
I think I would be happy, minus maybe one spot, which would be in the 3rd Baker game. All in all, though, the Baker games, they still average 180, and that's all that matters. 180s are going to win you matches in the Baker side of things, and that's exactly what did happen.
And I don't think that
one of the players wants to be interviewed.
They really, I'll bet, that they really fell apart game 1. Not that there was a huge spread, but they only had 851, and Van Wert came out strong with an 863. But they put it together, composure. Seth Jacobs maybe was a little bit of a spark plug for the Rough Riders in game number 2, and that's where the separation really came. 888 for the Rough Riders to 729 for the Cougars, and then we start the Baker games. And the best Baker game score was the very first one for the Rough Riders, 236. The Van Wert almost equalized it in the 3rd with a 230, but they did a nice job keeping their composure and not getting down and just rolling their game. And Coach Scott Ross, a multitude of times during play and then obviously in between, get the team together, get their composure together. This is what you need to do, and a lot of fun to witness high school bowling here at Varsity Lanes.
Absolutely, and like you said too, the coaches, fantastic job between both of them, getting everybody riled up and ready to go. But really excited to be back here on December 30th, and bringing you St. Mary's girls versus Versailles. So that's all I have. It was a great tournament, or a great match. And give us 1 second here. We're going to do a quick interview with Devin Stetler here. Devin, it seemed like you had a really good night tonight. Threw the ball really, really well. What do you think contributed to that?
I think it was yesterday. A lot of practice yesterday. We were there for about 6-7 hours bowling straight. A little fatigued, but I think, it motivated us losing the first game to keep on going.
Right. Yeah, you guys were down a little bit going in there to the second game, and from there you kind of were rocking and rolling. It was really fun to watch tonight, knowing after last night's win at the tournament down in Cincinnati. Then you had an hour and a half drive home. You guys are all amped up, I'm sure, from the tournament itself, and watching Will, do his thing to really help propel that win. But in a whole, it was all of you making that win happen. So that was fantastic. I was listening to it on my way home from a trip, and I was driving, and if there was a car to the left of me, they would have heard me screaming when I heard that Will picked that up, or won the 9th and 10th frame roll-off. So that was really cool. And moving on with today's match, you guys then bowl tomorrow as well.
Yeah, we go to Salina tomorrow.
Correct. So different center over there, different strategies as far as synthetic lanes go. As far as tonight goes, Riders won by 100 and, sorry, I just lost that, 182 pins. Definitely something you're going to have to do against that Salina team tomorrow. Any insight on their bowling this year?
We saw them at the Kickoff Classic, and they were all right. They are beatable.
Good.
And I think we have a good shot at that game. I feel like it's going to be kind of a trap game since we had the whole, tournament, and now we have a game now. It's going to be a little tired mentally and physically from bowling so much, but I feel like we're there.
Right. Yep. You just gotta keep driving that. So, well, this is Logan Yelton for Doug Spencer and Devin Stetler. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great night. Thanks, Devin. Great bowling tonight.
Yeah, thank you.